I'm emotional like a woman, but violent like a man, which is why I'd never do cocaine. I'd almost certainly go to prison. I get depressed like every other 5 days, but then the next week I literally feel like I'm touched by God. And because I'm always so sad and miserable, I gravitate towards media sources that claim to share uncomfortable truths. And yes, the truth usually is uncomfortable, but a lot of these uncomfortable truths are really just lies targeted towards a more desperate audience. It's a lot easier to accept the idea that every woman is a hoe than it is to turn that criticism and skepticism towards yourself and conclude that you're kind of a bum. I personally never had a hating women phase. I just say misogynistic shit sometimes because I think it's funny. Whatever fringe schizo thoughts you have at your lowest moments, it basically all comes from the same place: desperation and a solution. The Nazis believed that the loss of World War I and the collapse of the German economy was all the Jews' fault. But then the Nazis lost World War II, and now they believe that Jews run the entire world and the root of all evil is half-breed lightskins. When I was a freshman, I believed that the school system was a bunch of mundane horseshit that didn't actually educate you and just made you obedient, but then I graduated. And now I believe that every institution's only function is to perpetuate itself, and that literally everyone is out to get me. But in all seriousness, I think that's why it's important to question what you believe and hold yourself accountable when you're wrong. When I was 16, I was sad and lonely because of the pandemic, and I believed that government elites were pulling strings from the shadows and keeping me in a state of sadness. And yes, that might be true to some extent, but that doesn't justify my radical leap in thinking. I was literally gonna start a cyber mafia so I could get rich and annex a third world country so then I could be the dictator. And it's like, yeah, capitalism is rigged to keep you sad and in the same position your whole life, but that doesn't mean that you have to set the entire world on fire because of it. And that's why I think it's so important that we hold ourselves accountable, because in this age of echo chambers, if we don't acknowledge when we're wrong, we're either gonna be in the same position our entire lives, or we're gonna end up on the news for some crazy shit.